So you're at your live event and you want to collect testimonials. How are you going to collect those? And what's the best use of them once you have them? Hi, I'm Sheryl Loch with Ginger Roots Media, back with
Hey guys, Lainey Sullivan with Events by Lainey.
testimonials. You gotta have them.
Yes, you have to have testimonials. You have to collect them because they're so valuable to that big picture, that year-to-year conversation that we keep having with you guys. So again, if you're not having a year-to-year event, think about it. Okay, so testimonials are really, really valuable. So you can collect them in a number of different ways. Number one, if people comment on any post on social media anywhere that says, oh my God, this was an amazing event, or I had an amazing experience, I'm so glad I met these people, whatever, anything positive, you screenshot it, you grab it, and you put it in a folder and you keep it. Now, so a lot of people like to do written testimonials when they're at an event and be like, hey, give us some feedback. So testimonials can either be called feedback or testimonials or surveys. It's all kind of following in the same, capacity and methods, but it's a testimonial. But you can say, hey, we'd love to get your feedback. What did you love about this event? Give us, be honest. Some people are going to be honest, and then, some people want to change their surveys and their feedback after because they get home and they're out of the hype. And so there's two ways to think about this. You can do it right there in the event or immediately following the event, and they're still in this hype, or you can wait 2 weeks and let people sift through it.
It depends on how you're collecting them, whether or not you can wait 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. So there's a couple of different methods. So if you're going to do it,
because I have a preferred method.
If you're going to do it in the event, Sheryl, one of the things Sheryl and I were talking about was, some people like to have that written testimonial. So you can get, the written feedback, collect their name ideally, so that way you could, and obviously ask for permission to use their testimonials. Every survey that I've done about an event, 9 out of 10 say, can we use your feedback? And then you get to say, they can say yes or no. And if they say yes, then what's their name? So you can do that on actual paper, or you can do a survey through Jotforms or Typeform or any of those Survey Monkeys.
Even your social media, like through your Facebook.
You can do polls, you can do surveys through your social media. So there's that way. And then what's your favorite way?
Video. Live video. Because let me tell you, when you have a written testimonial, if you've ever been to Amazon or any of those sites, Yelp, you name it, a written testimonial is worth about this much in most cases, because we don't know if that's a real person, because they may use just a first name, and they can say raving things. Well, that could be their buddy down the street,
right,
or someone they paid to do it.
I could give Sheryl a raving written testimonial, and yes, we work together,
but most people, if they haven't seen this,
right,
they don't know who she is.
Right.
They don't know whether or not she's a real human. Whereas a video, that's pretty much real.
And I did a video testimonial for Sheryl. I think it's on your website, maybe. But video testimonials are really powerful. If you have branding at your event, which if you don't have branding at your event, that's a whole nother issue we're going to discuss. But if you have branding at your event, do your testimonials and create a station, a photo station. You should, if you're doing a step and repeat is called a backdrop. So if you've got a backdrop or a step and repeat, you can create a photo area where people have, like we talked about before, with the Instagram, cut out. So you can have some fun with that branded area. And one of the ways is to do testimonials in front of that. So you've got, every testimonial has your branding behind it. Hello, that's very smart.
Nobody else can use that.
And nobody else can use that content. So it's really simple to collect them, do it within, either do it right there at the event, do it within the first 2 weeks. I would do no more than 2 weeks if you're going to wait and let them come home and sift and think about it, because they either forget or they lose that energy and that super awesome hype that they were feeling in the event. Get a video testimonial. Now, using it.
Well, let's look at this, though.
Okay.
You're talking about all the written testimonials, and we know that they can be fake no matter what you do. I can write out testimonials and sign 1 million people's names and write awesome stuff. But if you're going to use these and you want something to send out on social media, we talked about the cards. A
Yeah.
lot of places have the cards or the sheets that you fill out with your stuff. Now, you could type all that out on your website, and that's great and fine. But if you want something fast to send out for shits and giggles or for
In the
whatever reason,
interim, in the interim of having video testimonials edited,
you get your photographer or yourself, and you're going to lay these out in a well-lit area, and you're going to take pictures, and you can then send them out and tag that person. So when you have them fill this out, if you ask them to include their Twitter account, their Instagram, their Facebook, something, so that we can tag them on social media, so we can take this picture of their testimonial, and we can send it out through social media and say, hey, so and so, we are so glad you enjoyed our event.
Exactly.
And that is right there pictured. You've tagged them to give it a little more credibility. You, of course, are hashtagging the event, so anybody that's been checking it out will see these great reviews also. So as far as the written, you can use those on social media in a totally different way.
Yes.
Just a simple image and tagging.
And then, post event, and you use testimonials in your next event's promotion. So you're dropping testimonials, and there's not exactly a rhyme or a reason to when you should drop a testimonial after you've completed the event. I would just sporadically send them through all the way until you start promoting your next event. And then with your next event, you cut your favorite testimonials into your sales videos. Plain and simple. You're doing a sales video, and then you cut, and I'm not a video editor, so whatever the terminology is,
get out your shank.
She calls it a shank, but you cut your favorite testimonials, and it can be 1 or 2 or 3. Don't fill your video with it. If it's a short sales video, put 1 in. If it's a longer sales video, put 2 or 3 in. But put your favorites in and use those as part of your sales video. And then again, you're going to use your testimonials.
Wait.
Yes.
You just, the other night, I sat and watched how Lainey's putting together proposals. So as you're going for sponsors and speakers and vendors and things like this, you can take those testimonials and include those the next year. So you can, you're giving a little reassurance to those people that, hey, people liked last year's event or the past 10 years event or however long. So you can use those in
this
your
is your
proposals.
sales. This is part of your sales and promotion for the next year. So not only is it getting feedback on how you can improve and what was good about your event, because obviously that's what feedback is, right? But this is part of your sales process for the next year. And let's talk about the feedback piece really quick. If somebody gives you bad feedback, you might have 1 in 20 that gives you bad feedback. Number one, you're not going to please everybody. But I want you to actually pay attention to the bad feedback that you get, because it's legitimate. Because it's legitimate to that person. So somebody had a bad experience around something very specific in your event, and they're sharing that feedback with you. It affected them. It impacted them. It put a negative spin possibly on their experience. So while we want to say, oh my God, this event was amazing and everybody had a great time, and we want to focus on that positive experience. Again, I love experience, and my goal is to make sure that your attendees have an amazing experience. However, we can't please everybody. So you need to take that little grain of salt and you need to listen to that feedback. And then you need to say, okay, is this a one-off situation or is this an actual issue? And
if one person has an issue, I will guarantee you someone else did. And they just, for some reason, didn't choose to say it.
Yeah. And I've talked to people post events, events that I've attended, events that I have run, and I have heard the negative feedback that never went to the event creators. And so the event creator never knows that people were upset about something. And because, people don't want to hurt your feelings, people, they want to be nice, they had a good experience, but somebody had the guts to say, I didn't really like this. So take it in. Don't be mad. Don't hold it against that person. Be grateful that they were honest with you, because now you can take that piece of information and you can improve on it next year.
Because a hater, you can't blame this on someone just doesn't like you or just they're being hateful and they're trying to irritate you because nobody, well, normal people don't spend money to attend an event, take on the travel, the food, all the cost of going to an event just so they can give you bad feedback. That doesn't
No.
happen.
No, it doesn't happen. So I want you to take the good and the bad, and I want you to really process it as you go into next year's event. And obviously you're going to promote the good stuff, and it's really simple to include all the amazingness that you've created into your future promotion. But I don't want to miss out on focusing on, hey, let's pay attention to those pieces of information that aren't so lovey-dovey.
And the thing is, I went to an event for this was 3 days, 2.5, 3 days. I hated it. I was miserable. And the one thing that made the whole event miserable for me is they had the room so freaking cold, and I get cold easy. I froze, and I would get up every half an hour to an hour and walk outside to warm up. I asked if there was any way they could make the room a little bit warmer. And you know what? They refused. No, because the speakers have on suit jackets. Well, when I looked down the rows of people sitting in the event, and they've all got this was in the summer, so it's not like we carried coats. They've all went out to their cars and found a blanket, found some. We're all freezing.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, that would have been an easy fix, but I will never deal with those people again.
Yeah.
Simply because of they took more into whether their speakers wearing a 3-piece suit were going to be comfortable than the hundreds of people sitting
in
out
attendance. Here. Yeah. And you have to, and that's one of the keys to getting good testimonials is paying attention to what's happening in your event. Are you seeing, some potential issues, and how can you, head them off at the pass and fix them and, recreate that positive experience for your attendees so that you can get, and say, what, hey, like, I was freezing at this event, and I had a personal issue, and I addressed it to the event creators and the host, and they were right on top of it and totally handled it for me. And I'm so impressed that they recognized whatever, right?
So when the second and third day I dress warmer and I'm still freezing,
right.
Something ain't right.
Yeah, so I think, testimonials is pretty simple, but I really just wanted to focus on a couple of pieces.
Now, videos. Let's go back to video testimonials because I love these. Of course, it's video. Who'd have guessed? Video testimonials to me are so important. You have to gather these for the best results at the event. Now, could you get on a call and record them via video? Yes. Is that the same? No, it does not play back the same.
The energy isn't there.
No. And the energy in a video is of utmost importance. So if you get me on a call and we record it later, I can still say great things, but you're not going to see the facial expression. You're not going to see how I was dressed, all the things that play into the experience end of it. What I want to say about video testimonials, you can have your videographer do these. You can have an assistant do them. Depends on who it is, but you want to make sure they know what they're doing.
It's key.
You want them to have a decent way to record these. While you can use your phone, you want to make sure we're not doing this. Please, God, no. We don't want vertical videos.
Yes, no vertical videos. We want horizontal. We
want them laid out nicely. And whoever is recording the videos, you need to make sure they know what information they should get from each and every person. And we've talked about this on a couple of other videos. But if I'm taking the videos, I need to either be in the video or off. It doesn't matter. But I need to make sure that I can record that person's audio, that they looked positioned so, we're not all screwed up. Then I need to know exactly what to ask them. I need to ask them, and this depends on your event, I'm going to get their name first and foremost, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes.
Because when you upload these to your editor, to your social media team, to your video people, They don't know who these people are, so you're going to want their name. You may even ask them to state whichever account you're going with, Twitter or an Instagram or a YouTube, something so that you can share and make sure you're tagging them. This is not just for you, but for the social media.
And you can do
people,
that
so share.
piece at the beginning of the video, and then you can actually like keep the video playing, take a pause. So this is how Sheryl and I do videos, is we'll do the front piece, whatever that is. So, you know, my name is Lainey Sullivan. You can find me at Lainey Sullivan on Twitter or at Events by Lainey on Instagram. Pause. And then somebody can say,
either the person taking the video can say, you're at such and such event. Tell us what your favorite speaker was, or what's your favorite moment, or what do you enjoy?
Right.
You can ask a variety of questions, and you can either do it that way with the person recording in the video or off to the side, so that it's still heard, because here's where we have some problems. Some people, A, don't do the interview process at the beginning, so we don't know who they are or how to connect. B, the person we don't hear the question in the actual video.
We only hear the answer.
We only hear the person answering, and it doesn't make sense because they go, oh, you know, I was here and there's no context to it.
Yeah.
And especially for someone like an event planner, if they're getting their testimonials, we want to make sure that we don't start a video testimonial with, wow, this was a great event. It was laid out so nice, Has nothing to do with her at that point. So we want them to state, or the person behind the camera to state, you know, we're taking,
just make sure the questions are super specific. Like ask them 2 questions, or say, what was your favorite thing? You can keep it really simple, because your testimonial videos, they don't need to be 5 minutes. They can literally be 30 to 45 seconds long. They don't need to be these long rambly things, because then people start losing track of what they're saying. So, you know, so so you either have somebody in the video literally interviewing, you know, what do you like this? Interviewing one, maybe not that close, but interviewing your person that's going to give the testimonial, whether it be a speaker, attendee, or whatever, or you're on the other side of the camera, or they're on the other side of the camera asking the question. And here's the thing that bugs the F out of me is there's no breaks. So actually, I think it probably bugs Sheryl more, but because I've worked with her for so long, now it bugs me too, because I'm like, they didn't leave any space. So like I just showed in the example, hi, my name is Lainey Sullivan. You can find me at Events by Lainey on Twitter or on Instagram, and Lainey Sullivan on Twitter. Pause. So there's a pause. That pause right there gives your video editor space to maneuver your video. I had to learn that personally, and so and
because if it's just a run-on and I'm trying to edit, I'm catching possibly the end of one word, the beginning of the next, and I have
choppy.
Nowhere to work with this.
Yeah, so you want to give your video editor, whoever it is, you want to give them some space in between the intro to the actual question for the testimonial. And then when you ask the question, have your person who's giving the testimonial wait 5 seconds. That way, if there's any kind of mistake, there's space. So between everything that you do, create space for your video team, because they will appreciate the fact that you actually paid attention to it. Okay, so you actually realized and recognized what they need so that they can deliver a quality piece of video to you. And that's what it is. It's really paying attention to those little details. And I know this sounds really kind of nitpicky, but it's really important. I mean,
now if you have a videographer there and they're going to do your editing and they're going to do your testimonials, there's a very good chance they have done a million of these and they know how they want to edit them.
Right.
So their layout for this, as far as the timing and the spacing and all, may not be what they do. But if you're going to have one person video, someone else edit, make sure you find out what they need.
Yep.
Even if you have to say, way before the event, I'm making a trial one, is this right?
Yeah.
Upload it and send it to them and say, what do I need to do? So once you get that, make sure your person that you're interviewing for the testimonial speaks clearly, stays on topic, doesn't wander off. I prefer they not run back and forth across an area.
What?
Simply because what I'm going to do with that testimonial, once I get it edited for Facebook, for YouTube, for wherever you're going to share it in a 16:9 format, then if they're fairly stationary, which they can stand stationary for those maybe a minute, I'm going to cut this out. And now you can use it on Instagram. You can reuse it on Twitter. You've got it in a different size, in a different format. If this person is moving,
yeah, exactly. I was saying, if they're like all over the place, it's
you don't want to pay me to edit that.
No.
It takes longer.
You like how I went like that in front of your face? Okay.
So then at the end of the video testimonial, don't just
no, don't just cut it.
We have seen this a lot where they say they finish what they're saying and then
it's like
it cuts out. Come on, give me a few seconds.
Exactly. And
that person can smile for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's that pause that I talked about. Just hold a pause for just another few seconds.
And if you have someone in recording these for you and they're in there kind of interviewing, as soon as they finish their sentence, don't have them go, okay, there you go, thanks.
Yeah.
And start.
Like there literally has to be space between everything that you do.
Literally, I've had to do this.
Yes, we just did this.
And I mean, it was someone who was inexperienced, and I was grateful that they did what they did and the best they could. If you just get some, if you need to, you call and consult someone and say, how do I do this?
Like, call Sheryl.
And that's the thing, is you want it laid out so that it's going to save you time on your editing. You're going to get a great testimonial that you're proud to share, that the person giving the testimonial is proud to share. It's going to be better in the long run.
Absolutely.
And I mean, testimonials can be fun.
Yeah.
Watch if you're not using a backdrop. Watch what's behind the person, because we recently had one. A woman was sitting at a table and they're getting her testimonial, and behind this woman at shoulder level, we have an ass. The person didn't realize what was going on. I'm sure they're getting ready to get up and leave. They bend over to pick up their belongings, and I have a butt right next to the person's head. There's not much I can do about that.
So having a clear background is best. Don't have a bunch of people milling in the background, or if you do have people milling in the background, make sure it's in an area that people are mostly standing and they're kind of farther away, and you're not getting that. And
if you see somebody bend over or do something obscure, I mean, you can have people go by and do all kinds of things when they see you have a live video going. So if you need to, laugh it off and say, hey,
let's do it again.
Let's do this again as soon as that ass moves. Because they didn't know it was behind them. And also watch your audio, because audio can be terrible. And this is something that you do and don't have control over, is if you're in the facility and there's a lot of people talking, there's music in the background, which you do not freaking want music.
Yeah, don't have music in your background.
That's a copyright issue we don't want. So you may have to send them off or have them go out somewhere else, or just wait a few minutes till things calm down. If you're doing video, you're mobile. I'll guarantee you are mobile, whether it's a giant camera or a phone.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah, just move the location. All right, guys. So if you want our list of goodies, go to eventsbylandy.com/knowledgebase and get it on the list so you can get all the bonus material.
And be sure to subscribe to Ginger Roots Media here on YouTube, because we have all kinds of tips and great things you'll want to see.
Hell yes.